shots back in the final round to win on the DP World Tour earlier this year. The second time she's won that Scandinavian mixed. Here's the final group at the 8th, and Karen Stupples is with world number 1 Nelly Korda. Her third shot here, Karen.
It is, and her tee shot ended up in the left rough, and really there was no way to control it to this green. So chipping back uphill, should be able to control it from here. Well, that was aggressive.
Shots, Karen. Wow. She's just a little bit out of sorts today, Karen.
I think so.
In there, you never know what could happen.
It's just the type of golf course where you can find big numbers. There's a potential maybe for an eagle, especially coming down the stretch on 14. I mean, Nelly's fallen victim to that herself around this golf course, Karen.
She has. That is for sure. I mean, as I'm looking at Nelly now, though, a little downhiller here, moving to the left. And I don't know how that didn't go in.
You surprised the chip shot wasn't closer?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the very best parts of her game. So yes, if I'm a poor tee shot, it's just impossible to hold that green if you're not in the fairway. And just, I mean,
Nelly also with the gap wedge.
He was thinking 115, so taking 5 yards off it, Karen.
Yeah, I think they're expecting a little bit of help in this. It's a good strike here.
The same as Charlie, didn't quite get the help. Still, birdie putts to come. Final round of the ANNIKA, driven by Gamebridge at Pelican. It is tight at the top. Into the week, 106 in the race to the CME Globe, top 100. Avoid that qualification tournament. Currently projected 84th after that birdie at 9. Now Nelly to match the birdie.
It's a different angle, uphill for Nelly.
The club needs to start working if she's going to win for the 3rd time at Pelican.
Huge. He has a good chance to move into the top 100 and keep her card. And now Nelly on the tee.
Yesterday, Nelly really got it together on the back 9. And drives like that will help.
your miss is 10 feet short.
Now Nelly.
She's got 147 and an 8-iron out. Pretty flat lie. Ball maybe slightly above her feet.
Yeah, good shot.
Yeah, she needed to hit a shot, make a putt, get things going. And stays in front. Alone at the moment, Nelly. 1 birdie today. That was at the 7th. It was a 2-putt birdie.
Yeah.
This has a little bit of downslope to it as well. But I actually think Nelly's one of those putters that does very well on those downhill fast putts. She seems to just really enjoy just getting the ball started over a spot and not having to work too hard on getting the speed right.
Sensing some frustration, definitely, with that club in her hand. She's had a couple opportunities, just hasn't quite gotten them to fall.
An audible exhale kind of.
Wasn't doing that yesterday.
Wei Zhang, as you saw, is in the fairway, and now Nelly.
Well, I don't think Nelly's going to take too much time on these. She's her routine is incredibly consistent.
Well, this Player of the Year run began when she was 3 down with 2 to go, just about 45 miles down the road in Braden. Final round in her 3 seasons. Here she is in the final group with 2 of the biggest names in the game, including world number 1 Nelly Korda, who is a couple over today. How about here?
Well, again, this putt is uphill, so I think Nelly can be a little bit more comfortable with this putt. But you know, I think Nelly, over the course of this week, she's looked comfortable on these greens. And after the last hole, she did a few little strokes with her putter. And whatever she figured out back on that last hole, it paid off there.
Second birdie of the day against 3 bogeys. That gets her to within 1. All right, while we have a moment, let's send it down to Tom.
Here with Brittany Lynn.
The awards here.
What?
Nelly, she can rest easy. She's already...
Might feel help, but that's fine.
Well, that birdie at the 11th was a long time ago, but here is Nelly, 1 back.
Well, and Nelly right now, you heard Jason say that it might feel a little help, but that's fine. It's because it does feel like there's a little help there, but from this angle, it's more just straight across. This on a draw.
Golf shot.
Oh, the best of the day. From the best in the world.
So difficult around these greens. A lot of grain. You've got to catch it precisely.
And now Nelly to go back-to-back and tie the lead.
Have to think that this one is going to move just a bit to the right.
Is this any good? Nelly, who won 6 times before June 1st, has only played 6 times since, trying to win number 7. So glad to have you with us. Sunday, Wei Wei Zhang's never even been close to this position. Wichani Michai's never won, but every win for whoever it is precious, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody's at a different point in their career. I mean, it's the biggest day of Wei Wei Zhang's career. It could potentially be for her. I mean, to be nearing Q Series shortly, to potentially have a 2-year exemption should she win here today. And then, you know, Nelly just trying to put some icing on the cake of her tremendous season. And Charlie Hull, I mean, I was surprised coming into this week that Charlie Hull was 52nd in the CME race to the globe. I just kind of feel like she's played better than that. But that also tells the story of her season.
Shot.
Good one from Nelly, Karen.
It is. Oh, it's a wide open fairway. That was just down the right side.
Back on the 13th hole, the final round of the ANNIKA. This is Nelly Korda tied for the lead. Second shot.
And she's got a 7-iron out, but it's only going to be a little one. A little bit of hurt in this, though, from 154.
Good shot. Very good.
2 really brilliant irons in a row. That left it below the hole. It's a little bit of a right to left putt up the hill.
Yeah, I love that read. I think
Back to the 13th.
exactly.
Working on this one with caddy Jason.
Yeah, and it is a little bit of a tricky read. She's very close to there's a slope on the right side of this green that will move the ball to the left. So expect this to go that way. It looks to me like she's aiming this about a cup to the right of the hole.
Karen, out of the 72 players that made the cut, there's only been 5 birdies so far today on this hole. Make that 6.
Nelly Korda has the lead. That looked like it was trying to sneak left, didn't it? We had a great angle. And it's 3 birdies in a row for Nelly.
And she is atop the leaderboard for the 15 wins in her first 2 seasons. Beth, 34 years ago. And now Nelly, who hasn't played since the Kroger Queen City Championship. Week after the Solheim Cup, had that neck injury.
253 on the left with a little help off the right. And then 280 to the right. Down off your right. Really good rhythm here. Good picture.
A little bit like yesterday, Karen, when she got off to a bit of a sluggish start. She has come roaring back.
Yeah, she does. She seems to know how to kick into gear when she has to, and that's something you expect from a #1 player. You think they're struggling a bit, and all of a sudden they just know what to do. It's like muscle memory kicks in for her, and she remembers, wait a minute, I'm world #1. I'm making birdies out here.
Is that any good? Yeah.
That is good.
One foot
Yeah.
of curve there in that ball flight, Karen.
A few bumps in the road. She looks very much like the player that won 6 of her first 8 starts. That birdie at the 13th puts her...
The bunker, what's Nelly going to do here, Karen?
Well, she's only got 233. I imagine this is her 7 wood. And she's got a little upslope. Didn't get a signal. And even if it is a 3, she's pretty finessey with that too. But because of the upslope, she can launch this one.
She was set up like to the right side of the green there.
How about that leave?
I'm not sure if that was what she was trying to do.
Tight at the top, the final round of the ANNIKA, driven by Gamebridge at Pelican.
Third shot for our leader, world #1, Nelly Korda, at the par 5 14th. What do you think, Karen?
Well, she's found herself on a little upslope, but I mean, it's quite a touchy shot. I imagine that she's been playing those lower shots with trying to get that check on it as it hits the green, pitching into a bit of an upslope, but there's not a huge amount of green to use there.
Nicely done. My only thought is that maybe she was in between clubs there, Karen, and instead of trying to go for the flag and it maybe jumping over the green, which is impossible, leaving it short right there for a relatively straightforward up and down.
One you'd expect a player of Nelly's ability, especially around the greens, to get up and down. So Charlie's going to have a long putt for eagle. Nelly for birdie. Wei Zhang has an eagle putt. Still too close to call here.
That is for certain.
And back at 14, Nelly for birdie.
Hot.
And she is red hot. 4 straight birdies for Nelly Korda. She was 6 back at one point midway through round 3, and Morgan, here she is, up by 1 going to 15.
She clearly has some really...
And now to 15.
Yeah, Nelly Korda trying to hit another one of those exquisite iron shots here, Karen.
Oh, she is at 164. A little bit of hurt, so probably playing close to 170. The difficulty is that the slope on that, just over the bunker, is tough. Oh, but this was exquisite.
What a shot that is. I think she was a bit concerned it might have been left. It is perfect now.
Previous hole out of her mind and stay confident.
Now Nelly to make the task a bit easier here. This for a birdie at the 15th.
But as you were saying, Tom, I don't think you can ever really relax out here on this golf course. You have to really hunker down for every single shot.
And that is 5 birdies in a row for Nelly Korda.
Well, we said it. Scoring average here, 66.5. It includes a couple of wins. You go back to 2021. What a playoff it was. Lydia Ko, Lexi Thompson, Sei Young Kim, but it was Nelly who birdied the 18th to get into the playoff, birdied it to win it. And that was her 5th win of the season. She won a major that year, plus the Olympic gold medal. The next year, Morgan, you remember how tough that was? Missed a big chunk of the year with a blood clot. This was an emotional victory for her.
Yeah, this was... You go through those moments in your career, you never know if you're going to win again.
Said how much it meant just to be back out after missing that time. Did not win last year, but boy, has she made up for it this year. 7 victories if she wins today. First time in 34 years that an American has won that many. First time in more than a decade that anyone in the LPGA Tour has won that many times. 15 wins would tie Jin Young Ko among those active players. And I dare say this would mean a lot to her after missing the last couple of months. Remember, she had the dog bite after the KPMG at Sahali, and you said it, it's been a roller coaster year for her.
235, the end of it's 260.
She's had 2 breaks of 7.
And as Tom mentioned, 6 wins on the DP World Tour. I beg your pardon, on the LET.
Swing, buddy.
Here's Nelly, 5 straight birdies at 16 now.
Yeah, and a drive that will give her an opportunity for a 6th, just down that left side, avoiding all the trouble.
Think about the great year that she's had. It's the first time this year she's had 5 birdies in a row. Longest stretch of the season, longest streak.
And Nelly just behind her, in the fairway, but in the divot hole, it looks like.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. That's some bad luck there. It doesn't look too deep. It looks shallow and looks like it's on the front side. So just going to have to be a little bit steep with some kind of a short iron or wedge here.
If memory serves, she had a slightly dodgy lie with her second shot to 18 at Bradenton on. We saw where Nelly's ball came to rest. Karen, what do you think here?
Well, she's got 110. She's got, I mean, it's a sand-filled divot. It's not ideal, but I've seen a lot worse. I think she can still try and pick this one with that wedge, but also erred on the side of caution by going out to the right.
Kind of squeezed it a little bit, playing it back in her stance, got a touch ahead of it and pushed it out to the right.
Where you like starting this?
Five straight birdies for Nelly Korda to go from 2 back to 2 ahead. Off the green here at the 16th.
No. Yeah, that's perfect, dude. Yeah.
This putt is pretty much downhill all the way to the hole. So just kind of almost imagine the hole is halfway between where it is and where your ball is now, and that should give you an idea of how fast this putt is going to be.
Okay. And a divot hole off the tee after piping another drive.
Yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate break there to end up in that divot. Quite heavy-handed there. She knows how quick these greens are. She talked about that they're like putting on glass or on ice, just so fast.
Charlie's got a putt for birdie. Wait. All right, so Nelly with a sizable putt for par to stay at 14 under. Charlie is a little longer than tap-in range for sure. Weiwei is going to move her mark. Nelly had a 3-putt on the 18th yesterday, but in her defense, Karen, it was in the dark, basically.
It really was. I don't know how you can really, I mean, you have to just say, you know what, it was pretty dark out, and give yourself a pass on it. I certainly would have. I was standing on the green at that time, and I was thinking how difficult it was to judge I mean, first off, judging speed, but also actually reading them becomes difficult when it's that dark.
It shouldn't have a lot of break in it, Karen. Pretty much straight back up the hill.
Absolutely. And the good thing is that she would have been paying attention to it as it rolled past the hole.
Oh, yeah. Nelly overcomes that bad break. The divot hole in the fairway. Salvages par. And now she is 2 holes away from a 3rd win here at Pelican.
Well, going back and fighting for your LPGA Tour card. To the tee at the 17th, and Nelly Korda.
Straight away, tee shot here. You've got some bunkers down the left, but Plenty of room out to the right, and that's what Nelly's done.
And a little bit up the right gives you a slightly better angle into the whole location today. She had a beauty in here yesterday.
The players chasing Nelly Korda. He's one putted every green from the 11th. And this was a crucial par save at 16. Nelly Korda ahead by 2 here with 2 holes to play. Back on the 17th hole here at the ANNIKA, driven by Gamebridge and Pelican. Nelly Korda with a 2-shot lead. Charlie Hull and Nelly walking up the fairway. They know each other pretty well. They got good rapport going out there. It's good when you can switch off like that between shots.
56 yards. Ball is quite below her feet, though.
Okay, good shot.
Right, guys, we've got the whole club length from there.
Well, she's going to have that putt that we've been watching all day at 17. Let's see with the putter. Yeah. Charlie has some work to do. Nelly looking good at the top. Well, this could put the tournament to bed here.
Sure could. I mean, there's a little bit of uphill to this, but it's going to move to the left.
You never quite know what happens at 18, Karen, but a 3-shot lead is very comfortable.
Well, it is. It allows you to play conservatively, too. Not having to take on too much.
Good putt. Really good stroke.
Just didn't turn in at the end. So it'll be a 2-shot lead. Charlie Hull still has a putt to stay at 12 under. Im is obviously playing 18 at 12 under.
The lead is 2 for Nelly Korda. A run of 5 straight birdies on the back 9, from 2 back to 2 in front. And 1 more hole to go.
Yep, driver out. Been very consistent with this club all day. Probably the most consistent I've seen with her over the course of this week, actually, her rounds today.
Just up the right edge and gets a nice bounce. Huge difference between being in the short grass and being in the rough here.
Deserved a good bounce after finding that divot hole back at 16. Nelly trying to win for the 7th time this year.
On the rise, and the buzz that was created around Caitlin Clark just proves that, you know, the LPGA is ready for that big stage, and this has been a big season towards propelling it up to that spot in the limelight.
Yeah, what a great job. Karen, you've seen some great golf from Nelly Korda over the years, but today was another one to remember.
It really has been. How she was able to turn it around on this back 9 was very special. This is an 8-iron for Nelly. It's a club that she could hit full.
Oh, Karen. Dangerously close on 12, dangerously close here. You could hear her yelling that to fly, but now she can breathe a sigh of relief. Look at her reaction.
That's what she was yelling on the 18th hole at Bradenton. Fly, fly, and it did up to... Okay, she can laugh about it now. But how close was this from coming back in?
I think it made us all catch our breath a little bit.
She had the sprinkler head to maybe catch it if it would have rolled back. Look at her, yeah.
Her sister had a similar reaction. She sent me quite the text after that. And I think we were all kind of feeling that same way.
She hasn't played in a couple of months, and she said when she went out to play Thursday, it was the first time she'd walked a full 18 holes. The neck injury before, she had planned to go to Asia to play a couple of times. And you just think about this surreal season. She had the big comeback to win at Bradenton Country Club at the drive-on to beat Lydia Ko. The 2-hole playoff. Took 7 weeks off. Had some R&R. Saw some family. And then won 4 straight events when she returned, including another major championship at the Chevron. 5 straight wins, tied an all-time LPGA record. She kind of cleansed the palate a bit there at Cognizant Founders Cup, where Rose Zhang won, but then came back and won the Mizuho Americas Open, rallying again. Since then, injuries and other reasons, 6 starts only since that 6th win. And now just a few putts away here from win number 7.
It's kind of been, it's been a career, a year, and certainly a week of patience for Nelly. I've been really impressed the last 2 days. How she stayed so patient on the course and rebounded from tough starts, Karen, to really, I mean, those 5 birdies in a row on the back 9, had 6 birdies yesterday to turn her round around. Sometimes when things aren't going your way, that's so hard to do, and she's done it here 2 days in a row.
Well, I think that's been the story of her season, really, too. I mean, the resilience and perseverance that she's shown over the course of her victories, they haven't all been easy.
Pro move here. Leave yourself a little tap in. Think about what's happened the last couple of years on the LPGA Tour. 11 first-time winners 2 years ago, a dozen last year, setting an all-time record this year. Nelly and Lydia dominating. Hannah Green's won 3 times. Ronnie Yin's won 3 times. We've seen the big names re-emerge, and none bigger than Nelly Korda. And so Nelly, just a tap in away. There's your brother Seb, mom and dad, Regina, Peter. He doesn't get to see her very often. I think this is the first time he's seen her win in person.
He came here to surprise her today, showed up on the 16th hole. Special moment to certainly have him there.
Nelly is back in a big way. Win number 7 for the Player of the Year in 2024. And for the 3rd time, she wins the ANNIKA, driven by Gainbridge at Pelican.
Always a pleasure.
Let's
go.
Soak it in.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She had just finally dried out from her last win in May.
7 wins now on the LPGA Tour this season. Does winning ever get boring?
No, never. I mean, you should have felt the nerves that I was feeling on the back 9, and then just, you know, after taking some time off with an injury, it feels great to be back out here. And there's nothing like being in the hunt. There's nothing like the adrenaline feeling going on the back 9 and being in contention, and I love it so much.
Is that how you were able to turn it around? You were 2 back and all of a sudden you reel off 5 birdies in a row. What goes through your mind in those moments?
Yeah, not a lot of happy thoughts at the beginning, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I have such a great teammate. Jay and I have been together for, I think, next year going on our 9th year. And having him by my side obviously helps because he knows what to say to me when I do get down on myself.
Now, we often see your mum and dad out walking, but we see your brothers here this week.
I did not know that.
He's here, so
I saw him.
this is your first time seeing him?
Yeah, and this is actually my first time winning in front of him, so. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a couple of months, so it's nice to see him.
Well, congratulations. Go see him.
Thank you.
Yeah. Game, set, match.
Well done.
Whoa, Nelly.
Right back, ladies and gentlemen, look high above your head. You can see the jump.
It's a tight-knit family, Morgan. They support each other like no other.
That was awesome. You saw her get a little emotional there when she realized he came to surprise her. So cool.
And Peter, she still leans so heavily on them, doesn't she? For so much.
Congratulations.